friends, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be sharing with you two new Orly collections. I'm going to be sharing the Fall Winter 2025 Breathable collection and then the Winter 2025 collection. It's supposed to be centered around the decade of the 2000s, so I'm super excited for that. These were sent to be compliments of Orly, so thank you so much to Orly for sending these my way. Now without further ado, let's get right into these beauties. Okay, so first up here we have Don't You Know. The description for this one says, as timeless as the Queen of Gods, this dusty rose cream is a nod to divine elegance. And this one is a very, very easy and gorgeous nude polish. It applies in 2 coats, and I love how this applies, especially for shades like this. Often it's hard to get a shade like this to apply this nicely, and this just applies so nicely. Here you can see how the polish looks under studio lighting in my swatch photo, and then getting into comparisons. So there are a lot of polishes that are this shade of like a rosy neutral color, but these are the ones I pulled out. I have OPI Machu Picchu, has a little bit more white in it. It looks very close in the video though. Zoya Bari was more pink, and then Orly Snow Bunny was a little bit more pink as well, but they're all pretty close. And then I pulled out Essie Day Drift Away was more peachy. Essie No Prints Needed had more pink in it, and then Essie You're a Catch is a lot more orange. And then here we have Essie Spring Awakening, had more peach in it. Essie The Snuggle Is Real was a half a shade darker. And then Essie Bear With Me was a tad bit darker as well. And then I don't usually love toppers, but Call Me Crazy, Siren Me Crazy is gorgeous. Siren Me Crazy is the topper in this one. I put it on top of Don't You Know and some of the other, actually all of the polishes here, so you'll get to see how that looks. You'll also get to see how it looks on its own. And then here you can see the swatch photo of Siren Me Crazy over Don't You Know. Okay, and next up is Artemis Me. The description for this one says, like the fierce goddess of the hunt, this brick red cream exudes both power and beauty. In my notes, I put down that it is showing more red in the live swatch here. It's kind of more of a burnt orange brick red, if that makes sense. It's just, think of a brick red with a little bit more orange in it. It's a great, great polish, great color, and I love the formula. This is a 1-coater, and you can see here how the polish looks under studio lighting in my swatch photo. Getting into comparisons, so OPI's Slip Dressed Up is pretty gosh darn close, as is Zoya Jackie. Jackie might be a little bit darker, and then Bedrock and Roll is a lot darker. And then here you can see Siren Me Crazy going over Artemis Me, and it's so pretty. I love this topper so much. It's pure perfection, and I highly recommend picking this one up. And next up we have Aphromite. Aphromite is a beautiful polish that's opaque in 2 coats. The description for this one says, inspired by the goddess of love, this coral cream is a vibrant tribute to passion and grace. And I mean, we have a ton of shades like this. This is not like knocking my socks off as far as the shade goes or anything. It's just an okay polish if you are looking for a polish in this shade. Here you can see how the polish looks in studio lighting and in my swatch photo. And I do have comparisons to this one coming up later with one of the polishes from the Winter collection. And then here you can see Siren Me Crazy over Aphromite. And once again, another beautiful combination. I don't know what polish Siren Me Crazy would not look good over. It's so pretty. Here you can see the swatch photo of that combination. And next up we have Ready or Not. The description for this one says, command attention with this deep dark red cream that channels the strength of ancient goddesses. And this is a gorgeous polish. It does build up quite a bit on that 2nd coat. I thought this is going to be pretty similar to Wicked, but it's actually darker, so I didn't even compare it. But here you can see how the polish looks in studio lighting in my swatch photo, and then here you can see Siren Me Crazy over Ready or Not. You guys let me know which polish you like Siren Me Crazy over the most. I'm loving this combination, actually. And then here you can see the swatch photo of that. Comparisons, here I pulled out Orly's Persistent Memory was darker, as was Essie Berry Naughty and Orly No Fig Deal. And one of my favorites from this collection, this is Got Us Some Bronze. This is so freaking stunning. The description for this one says, embrace your inner goddess with this rich chocolate hollow shimmer that evokes divine radiance. And this is an easy two-coater. And it's so perfect for, especially for fall. It's good for the transition to winter too. And it's just a polish that, it's a unique, very unique polish to my collection. Here you can see how the polish looks under studio lighting in my swatch photo, and I don't have anything to compare this to. This one truly is a very unique polish. And last but not least, from the Orly Breathable Fall Winter collection, this is Siren Me Crazy. It's that gorgeous topper. And like I said, this one pleasantly surprised me. I don't love this on its own. I'm not a fan of shades like this on their own. It's a topper. I don't like the way my nails look without color on them, so I don't like the way this looks. Okay, getting into the winter collection. These colors are rather odd for a winter collection, but I am excited to wear these in spring and summer. Starting off here with Leave Britney Alone. This is such a pretty pink. It's an easy two-coater, and it's so bright, so fun, and it's so perfect for summer. Here you can see how the polish looks under studio lighting in my swatch photo, and then getting into comparison. So I pulled out Zoya Candy was a little bit brighter. China Glaze's Kid in a Candy Store was a little bit brighter as well. And then you can see how Essie Backseat Besties compares there. Then I pulled out Orly Kaleidoscope Eyes, had a lot more purple in it. OPI I Quit My Day Job was probably the closest. And then Orly Breathable Burst Your Bubblegum was a different shade of bright pink. And next up we have So Fetch, another very unusual color for wintertime, but it's nice for summertime. I will say that I felt better about wearing this one with 3 coats than with 2 coats. It was a little bit streaky in 2 coats, so just keep that in mind. It's a gorgeous color. It's a gorgeous peachy orange, and like I said, it's perfect for summertime. Here you can see how the polish looks under studio lighting in my swatch photo and comparisons. Here we have Essie's Hostess with the Mostest was probably the closest. Hostess with the Mostest was probably the closest. Gotta have fun with these voiceovers sometimes. It is a little bit more muted though. Essie So Gifted was brighter, and then OPI Nature Strong We Canyon Do Better had more orange in it. Next up here we have Orly Dance With Me, had a little bit more pink in it. Morgan Taylor It's My Moment was brighter, and then Essie Set in Sandstone was a little bit darker. And next up we have Rollin' With My Homies. Does anybody else think of Britney Murphy and Clueless? When you see that polish name, that's all I can think of is Britney Murphy. I love Britney Murphy. I loved her in Uptown Girl. I loved her in Clueless. I loved her in so many things. This is described as a dazzling purple with a lime chrome shimmer. It's absolutely stunning. This is one of my faves from this collection. It's an easy two-coater, and I love polishes like this, and I do like this one for the winter. I feel like this is a very wintry polish. Here you can see how the polish looks under studio lighting in my swatch photo. And then getting into comparisons, here we have Essie Sugar Plum Fairy Tale was more of a shimmery polish. Essie Tears of Joy had more blue in it. Is that because my Essie Tears of Joy is so old? Did it used to be a little bit more purple? I feel like it did. And then Essie Geek Cheek is not similar at all. And next up, another polish that I do feel like is perfect for winter now that I'm actually getting into these. This is Flip Phone. Flip Phone is described as a baby blue frosted hollow shimmer. And this is an easy two-coater. And this one really glows on the nail. It's so pretty, and yeah, I'm a fan. Here you can see how the polish looks under studio lighting in my swatch photo. And then I just have a few comparisons. I have nothing that's a dupe to this one, but you can see how ILMP Winter Dream looks. Essie Let It Ripple was probably the closest, but it doesn't have the hollow shimmer. And then Orly's Written in the Stars is just a shimmer. So there you can see how all of those look next to each other. And next up here we have Chillax. Chillax is described as a brushed silver chrome shimmer. Put that it's so smooth and so easy to apply. This is a beautiful chrome polish that's not super streaky. I feel like there's always some streaks. You can see some streaks there. It's not the most streaky, but it still has streaks. Here you can see how the polish looks under studio lighting in my swatch photo, and then comparisons. Here we have OPI chrome claws. That's streaky. That's what you call streaky. Then Essie No Place Like Chrome and Essie In My Orbit. I feel like Chillax and In My Orbit are probably the closest. And then I pulled out OPI Chrome from their newest collection, and you can see that it has more blue in it and it's more of a shimmer. And last but certainly not least, unless you're trying to wear this in the winter, this is not a shade that I will wear in the winter, but I 100,000% will be wearing this in the summertime. This is Juicy Velour. This one does dry matte, and this is the brightest, pinkiest, coralist, neonish shade ever that I've seen in a winter collection. It's so pretty, like for real. It's so pretty, and it's an easy two coater, and I love this one for summertime. Here you can see how the polish looks under studio lighting in my swatch photo and comparison. So here we have Aphromite coming back. You can see it's a little bit more orange there. And then I wanted to pull out OPI Bubblegum Goth. It's a little bit more of a muted bright shade. So you can see how those compare. And then I pulled out Zoya Lani, which is one of my favorite neon shades ever to wear in the summertime. Juicy Velour may be making its way up there. So you can see how those compare. Next up, we have Essie Feel and Poppy. And then Orly Most Definitely. I was sure Orly Most Definitely was going to be a dupe to Juicy Velour, but you can see they're a little bit different there. All right, guys, so what did you think of this collection? Let me know in the comments down below, and then stay tuned for more polish reviews. Hope you all have an absolutely wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it is. Make it great. Love you all. Bye.